Hello? Check, check. Mic check, mic check. Alright, good. What's up, guys? It's J-Man Everything. Uh, as you can see here, I got a little bit of a scammer over here. You're probably wondering how I met this dude. Well, got one mutual server. Storm Chasers. You've seen me play this game before on here. I was looking for people to play with, and I found this dude. And until the 21st of this month, this year, he only said, hey. A day later, I called him thinking he'd pick up, but he didn't. On the 25th, aka today, he said, if you got this correctly, you will win 2,000. If you get this correct, you will win $2,000 as a reward, because almost everyone is responding wrongly. Which of these has two zeros and two fours? Remember that, two zeros and two fours, okay? Some people might guess 2024, some people might guess 0024, some people might guess 2044, but the correct answer is 0044, because it has two zeros, 00, and two fours, 44. I answered C. He said, wow, congratulations, you got it right. What's your payment method, Cash App or PayPal? I said Cash App, not PayPal, because I don't have a PayPal. My mom has a PayPal. I'm not going to say it out loud. And I wasn't going to give it to him, because that would be very, very dumb. So I said Cash App, and I was going to give him my Cash App. I said, what's your Cash App tag? I said, 1 second. It's taking me a while longer. Sit tight. I'll respond when I have it. I said, alright, sorry for the wait. The tag is my Cash App tag. I'm not going to show it to you. Alright, that'd be very dumb. So I am not going to be clicking this. You will not be seeing it. Alright? So get that thought out of your head. You are not going to be seeing my Cash App tag. Okay? Then I said, for him, click on the grayed out portion for the tag. Did that for privacy. So that way if anyone else decided to get on his computer and go read through his chats, once they clicked on this, they would only see a grayed out portion instead of my tag. He said, okay, hold, thinking it was going to take him forever to scrounge up the money and give it to me. And a few moments later, I said, just to let you know, if this is a scam, you should know that my account is already empty. I'm not saying it is, I'm saying if it is. That it is, if it is portion means I'm not saying it is a scam, I'm saying if it is a scam. And that top portion, my account is already empty. That's me being serious. I have $0 in my Cash App account. So even if I did show you my tag, which I'm not going to do, you wouldn't be able to get anything out of my account, since there's nothing to get out of my account. He asked, no, this is not a scam. He said, I presumed the now was a typo, because if you're trying to scam someone, why would you admit that it's a scam? You would try to keep it on the down low. So just admitting that it's now a scam would out yourself. And that's not a smart idea if you're trying to scam someone. So I thought that was a typo. I said, now? Meaning now? Did you mean to type that? Or was that an accident? He then said, is that you? Yes. That, I'm not going to tell you what pairs with anything, since, yeah. I'm just going to say that that's one of my Roblox usernames. from way back when. That's what I'm gonna say. That is not my Cash App ID. That is just one of my Roblox usernames. And yes, that is correct. That is my Roblox username. Well, actually, no. That right there is my Roblox username. But that is a lot closer. It's just missing a number. Anyways, I said yes. He said, good. The payment has just been sent. Did you get it? I asked no. Are you sure you put it in right? He said yes. I said, in fact, I have a better idea. Type your Cash App tag in the DMs in the chat. And then I followed with a step-by-step instruction on how to spoil the Cash App tag and prevent it from being read. Step 1, those. Step 2, your Cash App tag, meaning just replace this with whatever your Cash App tag is. And step 3, put the tag in the middle of those 4 lines, which means those 2 lines, immediately followed by your Cash App tag, immediately followed by 2 more of those lines. So basically a line sandwich. Basically that's what this is. Now, I am needing... Hold up. I am going to pull up the stream on my phone so that I can read your chat messages. Just give me a second, it won't take me long. Alright, so, I said hello, Earth to Mike. His username isn't Mike, I'm just calling him Mike, because I am not gonna say that username. I don't even think that has a pronunciation in the English language, including the line. So I'm just going to call him Mike, okay? So Mike replied with a question mark, like saying, what? Or, what? Yeah, for people who don't understand what a single question mark means, if people send that to you, that's just saying, what? Like, what is it? Yeah, basically like that. I asked, did you read my messages? He said he's busy. That's what busy means in this context. He's busy. I asked, where's my money, Mike? He said, you're gonna need to pay a fee. Can you pay or not to get the $2,000? Now, this should have been immediately a red flag. But this is sort of realistic when it comes to the stock market, because that's how the stock market works. In order for you to make more money, you need to put a little money in. Then the money you put in, depending on the sort of thing you invest in, that number will go up, and you will get a lot more than you put in. That's realistic. That's legal. That's not a scam. Because if the stock market is a scam, it would just be torn to hell. Just nothing. Nothing left. Zip, zelch, zero, goose egg. I asked how much. He said just 22. I wasn't sure what he meant by 22, and so I asked 22 what? 22 cents? $22? 22K? K meaning thousand? What? He said $22. Now that's sort of reasonable. That's not an insanely high, unrealistic amount. So obviously it's reasonable to pay $22 for something. Obviously. That isn't much of a red flag, the $22. So I responded with, I will pay the amount when I have it on hand. I want the money you're trying to give me. I want the money you're wanting to give me first, so that way you won't back out. And with the Lord as my witness, I promise I won't back out myself. And then I followed with, hello, Mike? Then he replied with, you need to pay the fee first because it is the fee to update the payment. I asked, what are you talking about? What crack are you smoking? That was just supposed to be some kind of insult, like, Are you high? What are you saying? And he said, I told you before you start being ASS languages, meaning I told you before you start speaking jerk languages, meaning just cussing or insults or stuff like that. He replied to his can you pay or not with 4 question marks, meaning can you? I responded with, this is a scam. I could smell it. And plus, why would I need to spend less to get more? Outside the stock market, I referenced that earlier in a bit ago, the stock market, how it works, etc., etc. I'm not going to go in depth. Someone else probably have made a video for that. But simply, in a nutshell, the stock market basically, depending on the type of money, depending on the amount of money you invest into a company, and depending on the say of that company, if the stake goes up, you get more for less. That's basically what the stock market is. And in this context, it doesn't make sense. Needing to pay $22 to win $2,000. That's not realistic. And then he said, I know I can't force you to trust me, but I will never lie to you or try to toy with your feelings. The Bible teaches a lot of lessons. Do unto others what you want them to do to you. To do unto you. Now, I respect that as a person who believes in God. I respect that. Because, yeah, I'm not against the Bible verse. Alright? I'm not against that. Alright? So, do not shame him for putting that Bible verse in there, because I believe that myself, as a God-believing person. So, don't slander, hate in the comments or live chat about this person, because I believe that too. Do to others what you want done to you. More simply, Matthew 7:12. That is that. He then says, I have no bad intentions, and I am very honest with you, and because there are some bad eggs out there, that doesn't mean everyone is. But I believe this is real, not scam. I replied, but I believe this is real, not scam. Now the messages I send further, I'm just trying to scare him. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm not trying to actually become that. I'm just trying to scare him. So I followed with, this account is a decoy of the Anti-Scam and Fraud Department of the FBI. Your location is being tracked as we speak. To back out now, say stop. To continue forward, say continue. He then says continue. I followed with, for a bit more context, I was trying to be a bit, hold up. He just got back now. What is he talking about? I then said, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. To back out now, say stop. To continue forward, say continue. Because I was trying to be case sensitive. I was trying to make him copy and paste continue the way I typed it into the text box and then send. Or stop if this actually wasn't a scam. If this wasn't a scam, he would say stop. If this was a scam, he would say continue. And he said continue, so more than likely it's a scam. Now, this is more than likely going to be a short stream, which means not very long. Who are the... Oh, right. Me. I'm the participant. Said my microphone was unmuted, but has no signal. Well, I think that was some sort of mistake on the website's part. Huh, he just left again. Interesting. And Discord, in case you want to take action against this guy, this is what he looks like. That's his username. Or, more accurately, that's his display name. That's his username. That's his description. And that's his join date. I was wanting to report this guy for fraud, but there isn't like a set report feature. The only thing is to report their profile, and you can only report their profile picture, their profile user or display name, their text descriptors, aka about me status or pronouns that they have set, which they don't, or their server tag, king, which is right there. And king is, you know what, I'm just gonna not pull that up. I'm just gonna keep that down. That's not an advertisement. I'm not telling you to go over to that Discord server. And I highly encourage you not to go over to it. Thought I had a bit more drink. Anyways, without further ado, tell me what you guys think about this guy. Tell me what I should do. And tell me if I should actually believe this guy. And tell me if I should stop doing this charade of FBI anti-scam and fraud department. Yeah, and anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.